Hollywood Brown to Arizona during the draft, and Lamar Jackson had an injury-riddled season. But how'd they do in this year's draft?
Well, like you said, starting off with the Baltimore Ravens, I was really, really, really impressed. It was a Baltimore Ravens draft. That's pretty much what it was. Guys who shouldn't have been there were there when they needed them, and they just hit it out of the ballpark like they always do. They're incredible at drafting. They got arguably what could be the best prospect in the whole draft in Kyle Hamilton, safety out of Notre Dame. They got him at the 14th pick. Tyler Linderbaum, who could be the best offensive lineman in this draft. He's a center as well. He went round one, pick 25. So I had another steal there. David Ajabo, this is a huge one here. The second round pick for them, edge out of Michigan. He was actually supposed to be a first round pick, but he's had some injury stuff that caused him to fall to the second round. So instead of spending a first round pick on him and risking injury and all that, you just spend a second rounder on him, and you get a guy who's a first round guy who has some injury issues, but you get him at a discount. So it all really works out. After that, Travis Jones, nice pickup. They added some depth to the offensive line. They added some depth to the tight end position, which I scratched my head at that a little bit, especially when they took the second tight end. I like I l- I like likely. I like likely more than I like Colaire. So I think I would have taken likely and not gotten Colaire. I would have gone a different direction because you've already got Mark Andrews. So there's no, I mean, yeah, you can add tight end depth, but after that, they weren't really, it wasn't like yesterday where we were talking about the Lions and, they had TJ Hawkinson, but after that, it was pretty much just nothing. So they needed to add some weapons where this team, while they did need to add some weapons, I think the weapons needed to be in the wide receiver core. That was the only knock that I had on this draft from the Baltimore Ravens. The one thing, and I think it's the reason why I did not give them an A plus, is because they did not go after a wide receiver, and all they did was trade away their best wide receiver. So, I mean, while they did get another second round or another first round pick, and they ended up taking Linderbaum with it. That's cool. They added to the offensive line. Wide receiver was a huge need in this draft already, and then you take away Hollywood Brown, and that just makes it an even bigger need. So now they're kind of stuck in a spot where they're going to have to rely, or I will say this, I'm realizing this now. Maybe this is them kind of like fully committing to the run game too. Maybe this is them saying like, "Hey, look, we traded away. We're going to get a guy who can block. We're adding to the defense, so maybe this is them committing to the defense and stick with running the ball. That's what this draft kind of reminds me of here. And they also took a running back with their sixth round pick after J.K. Dobbins got hurt last year. Even though he's still going to be the guy there, he's incredible. So overall, I gave them an A. I'd say their best pick, and I don't mean to shoot down the other picks. I think there's a lot of candidates for this, but the best pick for me is still going to be Kyle Hamilton. I don't mean to just go with the round one guy because I feel like that's cheating, but
Yep.
the fact that Kyle Hamilton was even still there at 14 just mesmerizes me, and they got a absolute steal. So best pick was Kyle Hamilton, and the overall draft grade, I'm going to give him an A. Would give him an A plus, but like I said, I just feel like that there was a wide receiver that needed to be, not a bunch of wide receivers like the Packers had to draft three. Some other teams had to really go in on wide receiver depth. They really only just needed to get one because you still have Rashad Bateman, you still have Devin Duvernay, and James Prochet. If James Prochet gets field time, I really think that guy is a beast. James Prochet was a sixth rounder a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, I believe, out of SMU. And if you watch his highlight tape, he is explosive.
Yeah.
He's only like 5'11", but his vertical is like 40 something inches. So he can go up over top of anybody. Like linebackers, he can go up over top of safeties, he can go up over top of cornerbacks. It doesn't matter. This guy can get up there. On top of that, he's incredibly fast. He's super shifty. You're not going to get a hold of him. So I'm really excited to see him finally get his opportunity. This was a guy 2 years ago that was my sleeper pick out of the draft 2 years ago. I really liked him. he was my day 3 guy that I was like, okay, he can make a difference in the NFL. So um really, it's all just going to come up to Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, and James Prochet, and also obviously Mark Andrews.